break the rules.
Look out!
To become a hero. I do it, and I become the enemy. It doesn't seem fair.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to ReelTime for the Real Everyday Movie Fan. I am, of course, Josh Williams. Thank you so much for joining me here today, and I am here at the Pack Theater at B&B Missouri 6 Theaters for the premiere night, Thursday night premiere of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Now, before I get into my review of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, you guys saw my first out-of-the-theater reaction to it yesterday, and after the Thursday night theater showings got out, I went and talked with some of the audience members to see what they thought of the initial reactions coming out of the theater. So let's have a talk with them, and then we'll get right into my review. All right, you just got out of the theater experiencing Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. What's going through your head? What are your initial thoughts coming out of the theater?
It was more than I was anticipating. It was excellent. I can't wait to see where they take the multiverse from here.
It's really, it was a great movie. Hard to tell what's going to be next, with that post-credit scene.
No spoilers.
No.
Some people haven't seen it. No spoilers yet.
But with that post-credit scene, maybe we'll get more, maybe not. Really depends on which way Marvel goes, but overall, I think it's a great movie.
It's a great movie. End credit scene wasn't the best, but for how good the movie was, it was worth it.
It's honestly the next Infinity War.
It's awesome. Better than Infinity War, really.
Honestly, yeah, it's really good. Let's just say crazy multiverse dimensions.
All I can say is my mind is blown after seeing all that. That was crazy. It was definitely, without a doubt, madness.
It was different than other Marvel movies, but it was really good. Great visual effects, tons of CGI. Great. They just keep building and building and building. I can't wait to see what's next for them.
You actually saw it in 3D, so you're my first live reaction of it in 3D. So what was your thought of the movie, and how was it in 3D?
So the movie was different. It really was. It's not a normal Marvel movie that I thought. It was a lot of jumping back and forth between this reality, that reality. It was a lot to keep track of, but it was really good. The 3D made it even better, from jumping out at us and even just...
With the action scenes?
Yeah, with the action scenes, with Wanda's magic coming at us. It was great.
Now, without getting any spoilers for anybody watching at home, who was your favorite character and why?
Ooh, that's a hard one. It is. It's probably America Chavez.
Yeah, she was really good.
Yeah, she didn't really get any attention during trailers and things like that, but she plays an excellent role in the movie, and I think the actress did a wonderful job.
Come on, it has to be Doctor Strange. Come on.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I think I really liked Wanda. I think she did a great job.
America Chavez, because she's the first time we've ever seen anyone being able to go across the multiverse in the way she does it. So she's the most standout character, but the best character, obviously, Doctor Strange.
Most definitely, probably Doctor Strange.
WandaVision.
Wanda Maximoff, yeah. Why was she your favorite?
I like Scarlet Witch and the dark magic.
I would have to say America Chavez.
She was really great for me too. Why was she your favorite?
Well, she started out a little unsure of herself, but with the help, what she really needed was a boost of confidence and knowing what she can really do and what she's capable of. And she can stand out to be her own great character.
My favorite character is Doctor Strange. I just like his powers, and he keeps getting better, and you never know what he's going to do next.
Coming out of it without spoiling anything, what was kind of the highlight for you as far as the whole movie itself? For me, the horror element was just great. And I think Sam Raimi did a great job just be able to be himself and play on those elements. What about you? What kind of stood out to you?
I just like the change in formula. This movie didn't have too much dialogue in it. It was more visual than anything, and that was my favorite part of the movie. So yeah, it's just the whole new. It's not like regular Marvel formula anymore. It's just changing, and we're adapting and getting more styles in.
I completely agree. We're getting more styles. We're getting new stories. And for everybody at home, do you think this is worth their hard-earned money coming to the theater?
100%. If you, especially if you come with friends, like the experience in a movie theater is second to none. I recommend movie theater for any movie, realistically, because that's what I love to do. Come with my friends, feel the energy of the crowd. Just everything's great.
Oh, definitely. It's worth, just like every Marvel movie they've come with, it just builds from where it was, and it's definitely worth the money and the watch.
Would you recommend people come see it?
Yes, definitely.
Yes, absolutely. They would not miss a thing.
They wouldn't regret it at all, would they? Definitely worth the money.
Definitely worth the money.
For either 2D or 3D, do you think it's worth people spending their hard-earned money to come see it in theaters?
Oh yeah, it's definitely a break from everything. It's definitely worth it.
Oh, definitely. There's nothing better than coming to the movies and seeing these movies on the big screen. I mean, you can watch them at home, but like feeling it, seeing it, just it takes a whole different volume with this. Like if you do it at home, you can pause it and everything else. You gotta sit there and watch the whole thing start to finish, no interruptions.
I agree, and just feeling that energy of the crowd, you're kind of having a community feel, just people you don't even know, and experiencing something on the big screen. I think that's something definitely we can agree on. But thank you very much for your time, and come back and see it again. Well, there you have it, everybody. So far, the audience reactions have been overwhelmingly positive, and that's a really good thing coming in this movie because we saw how the critic scores has been a little low compared to most Marvel movies, and you can understand some of their reactions, but I have my own thoughts as well. So let's get on back to the studio, and we'll get into my review. All right, everybody, we're back here in the studio, so now let's talk Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Now, just so you guys know, this is a spoiler-free review. I told you guys before earlier in the video, this is going to be spoiler-free. We're going to do our spoiler review this weekend. And so coming into that, it's kind of going to be hard to talk about this movie because pretty much everything's a spoiler in this movie. So I'll give some of the highlights for me and some of the things I didn't like without spoiling anything. But before we do that, let's get into who actually was in this movie. Now, of course, this movie was directed by Sam Raimi. I mean, fantastic job, by the way. Talk more about that. But it also stars Benedict Cumberbatch, Elizabeth Olsen, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Benedict Wong. I can't pronounce her name, but she plays America Chavez. I'm not even going to try and pronounce it. I'll have Ryan do it, but her last name is Gomez. I just don't want to butcher her name. She did such a good job in this movie. And then Rachel McAdams as well is as well. That's the only people I can really give away because who knows how many trailers people have seen and who hasn't seen. Because there are some trailers out there where it has spoiled some stuff for the audience, but I don't want to give any of that away for people who haven't seen some of those. And I also apologize for my camera being the way it is. I'm recording this on OBS, and for some reason it's just really slow when it comes to from my camera to the computer. Getting my computer cleaned next week. Hopefully that'll take care of it. But I really do. I appreciate you guys working with me there. It probably would be frustrating, but either way, let's talk into my review. I also want to thank our sponsor, B&B Missouri 6 Theaters. They did a great job of hosting me there so I can get some live reactions for the people. I hope that helped you as well to hear from the people other than just me about this film. And so other than that, let's talk about what my thoughts are, because I kind of gave you a brief little thought after coming fresh out of the theater. If you haven't seen that, check it out. It's just a small little 1-minute video I put from me coming fresh out of the screening. Overall, this movie is a thrill ride. I think I summed it up really well when someone asked me how I felt coming out of it, like an audience member. For me, this is the quintessential summer shove popcorn in your face thrill ride of a film. And now I will preface this that you will have to do some homework. I know that may sound bad, but it's good homework. I mean, it's fun actual homework to research. That way, when you go into this movie, you have the full understanding of what's happening in front of you. So I highly recommend you watch all of WandaVision. That's going to be very important, especially for what's happening with Wanda in the film. It's really good to get all the films in for, not films, get the whole season in of What If. That will play a kind of a role there too. I'm not going to spoil why, but it's good to watch that as well, just so you have an idea. And of course, Loki, especially that season finale, that really helps you grasp how you got to the multiverse of madness. And then also, lastly, Spider-Man No Way Home, which I'm pretty sure all of you have seen that. I think everyone and their mother has seen that movie. So those are the ones I highly recommend you guys check out before you actually go and see Doctor Strange. If not, at least watch it after. That way it gives you a little bit of context. Now, besides that, right off the top, the thing that really stands out to me is Sam Raimi. Sam Raimi, what he did for this film was very unique and different, and it had it's not really a spoiler. I think it's actually something to look forward to. It has a very horror element to it. I'm surprised Kevin Feige let him go all Sam Raimi on this film. Really put his stamp on it as far as his directing style, how he likes to incorporate horror aspects into his films. I mean, he did Army of Darkness and Evil Dead, for crying out loud. I mean, those are probably some of the most popular horror films, as far as horror culture. And he did a good job. I feel like from what he directed, and he even said in an interview, I feel like there was a lot of stuff cut out, and he even said this movie was originally supposed to be 2.5 hours, but the studio wanted to cut down a little bit, maybe so they can get more screenings in. I'm not sure why, but they had him cut it down just a little bit, and you can kind of tell because there are certain elements and aspects there where it felt like it was a little rushed. And that was one of my negatives. I'm kind of going to jump back and forth with my positives and negatives. You felt like it was rushed at certain points, and then there's times where it kind of slowed down for the dialogue and character building, which I'm fine with, but the pacing of each way, as far as the action scenes to the dialogue scenes, was off. But overall, with the pacing of the film, seemed about right when you cut from scene to scene and you go from sequence to sequence. So that still worked all right. But besides that, I mean, that was the big highlight for me. There's horror spots in this film that will still haunt me, in my dreams almost, with some of these characters and some of these moments. It's really great. You really feel that horror element. Besides that, the standout actress I already gave it away, the actress for me is Elizabeth Olsen as Wanda Maximoff. And you're about to watch my wife just walk by the screen, say hello. You've seen her in some of our videos before. She hasn't seen that yet. I don't know if she's going to want to see it. I'm not sure. But she loves horror, so who knows? But besides that, Elizabeth Olsen as Wanda Maximoff. Holy shit. I'm saying the campaign now for Best Supporting Actress for the Oscars. I mean, start the campaign now. She deserved her nomination for the Emmys. I think this is more than deserving for a nomination for this film. And regardless of what you think of the film overall, no one can deny just the story arc that goes on with her in this movie and the performance that she gives, from going from ranges of emotions in just one scene. It's very astounding. Can't applaud her enough. And other than that, America Chavez, the Ms. Gomez, I'm just going to call her for now, she did a pretty good job. I feel like she could have gotten more, as far as she felt like more of a plot device to help move the thing along, which is fine, especially when you're giving her power. But I just feel like you could have delved in a little bit more into her. You got a little bit of her backstory. That's not really a spoiler. You kind of expect that. But just more of who she is as a character. I wish they would kind of explore that a little bit more. And it was kind of a negative for me. Even though this is Doctor Strange's movie, I didn't feel it, if that makes any sense. He was there. He was definitely there, but I guess you already kind of know who he is. You do get a little more story development between him and Rachel McAdams. You kind of see that in the trailers, of course, because they're kind of bound together as far as a romantic relationship, that lack thereof. But I just didn't feel like there was enough more thrusting forward other than his abilities as far as him as a person. Not as much. They had a little bit, but not as much as I would have liked, and have much more of him in the forefront. As far as the main element within the story, I don't know how to explain it, but it just didn't feel so much more like his movie, more of an ensemble. And I don't know. These movies you're gonna kind of have to expect that, I guess. I just didn't feel as much as more of his movie than anything. But that was really my only negatives. Other than that, I mean, the CG in this movie is fantastic. It is mind-bending. I haven't seen it in 3D, but we heard from one of the audience members it's pretty awesome in 3D, and I kind of want to see it just to see what it's like. And I'm kind of excited that there's going to be more 3D movies coming out this year. One of them also is going to be the new Jurassic Park, going to be in 3D as well. Kind of excited for that one. But other than that, this overall, guys, go see this movie. I mean, that's really all I can dive into without going too much into spoiler territory. And I don't want to do too much of that. Just know that this movie is a thrill ride. It's fast-paced action, balls-to-the-wall action. There's so many great cameos, so many great characters that pop up that you don't really... Some have been reported on, some have not, but I don't want to give away people who don't go, look through the reports like I do. But some are going to be really surprised about, and there's one in there that this character... who played this character, I lost my mind. That's all I want to say, because I don't want to give anything away. I lost my mind. It's pretty awesome. And definitely stay for the mid-credit scene. End credit scenes is kind of fun, but still stay for them both. But the mid-credit scene, it kind of blew my mind, and it would definitely leave your head scratching, because it kind of left my head scratching too. I had to do a little bit of research on the mid-credit scene of what happened there. But we'll get into that in the spoiler review. If you want to come back for that, we'll explain more about what happened there and what could it mean moving forward into the MCU, the MCM, and for Doctor Strange in himself. But go see this movie. It is, just like you heard it from the audience members, guys, and hear it from me, this is well worth your time and your money to go shove some popcorn in your face, have a great time at the theater, have some jump scares, have some great action scenes, and just enjoy a great, in my opinion, a fun thrill ride Marvel Cinematic Universe film. I'm giving this movie, I didn't give it at the beginning. I do that. I'm just going to give this movie a solid 9 out of 10. I don't really agree with some of the critics and some of what they say, but hey, all of us are subjective, all of us are different. This movie was exactly what it needed to be, and it thrusted things forward a little bit more as far as the multiverse really well, and what it can mean for other things moving forward. There was one more negative I had, but I don't want to give it away. It's something that's just kind of wish they would have added into this because of other things that have happened before. I hate being vague, but I'll explain it more in the spoiler review, guys. Either way, thank you so much for watching me here today. More importantly, if you have seen it without spoiling, what did you think of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness? Jump in the comments section below. Let me know your thoughts, your positives, your negatives, and your score out of 10. Also, guys, if you like what you watched, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to receive all of our various content we have coming down the pipe. I think you've seen some of the interviews Ryan has done with some of the filmmakers in Hollywood. He's got more coming that I'm really excited about. I will let him sort of announce those for this weekend. He has some coming up, but he has a lot of those coming down. We have a lot more trailer actions coming to you soon, and I can't wait to see and share with you all the stuff we have coming up. But that'll do it for today. Again, I'm Josh Williams, and thank you for keeping it real with ReelTime.